Welcome to Bell Bay Golf Club. My name is Ted Stonehouse and I'm the head professional and general manager here at Bell Bay. And I'm pleased to introduce you to the Bell Bay Golf Academy, where we teach left and right-handed golfers, adults, some of our best amateurs in the province, as well as some of the up-and-coming little juniors that we have. We hope you enjoy this video. Talking about putting. Putting is very personal. It's something where the type of putter, the style in which you may putt, those are all things that will be directly affected to you personally. But we do need to understand there are certain key fundamentals that we must do correctly. Starting off, we're going to talk a little bit about the grip. So the putter is the only club in your bag that has a flat edge and is allowed to have a flat edge on the grip. And we want to utilize that. Sometimes we see some of our students with their hands way down here on the silver or on the middle of the shaft. If that's the case, we tend to need to cut their putter down so that they're utilizing the fat part of the grip. It's designed a certain way so that it helps to immobilize your wrist movement. We want to have a good triangle rocking motion in a pendulum motion from the shoulders down to the hands and the end of the club. Brett, if you would go ahead and take your grip. The one thing I want you to notice is look at Brett's index finger here. This finger is extending down over top of these other fingers. The reason why we want this done on your top hand is to help alleviate any wrist movement. With this finger extended, it actually extends the tendons from your wrist wrapping around your elbow and up over your shoulder. So it helps to keep this moving as one complete unit, opposed to this action, which is not a good move when we're trying to putt. We want to have this triangular motion back and through. Now I'm going to set Brett up here and we'll talk a little bit about setting up. Again, go ahead if you would. Okay. And when he's going to putt, I'll put your putter right here beside this one. We want to have, as a second fundamental, our eyes directly over top of the golf ball. And one way we can do that is by just setting the putter aside slightly, go ahead and take your posture, taking the golf ball to the bridge of your nose and dropping it. And if we hit the ball, then we've done it correctly. We have the eyes over the golf ball. With our eyes over the ball, then we're going to be able to look down the target line. So I'll let you set up if you would. We can look down the target line instead of trying to gauge our eyes on one line and the putter on another. Then our brain has to make a calculation. This way, when our eyes are directly over top of the golf ball, we can putt back and through down the target line. Our stance is about shoulder width apart, and it is good to have our feet running parallel to our target line. The final thing I want to say about the putting stroke itself is it should be 1/3 back and 2/3 through. The final thing about putting is that we want to have the putting stroke take place 1/3 back and 2/3 through. As you can see, this golf ball represents the backstroke, this one represents the follow through. So if you would set up, I'm going to let you take the golf putter back to the back ball and accelerate through to the follow through of this golf ball here. 1/3 back, accelerate to 2/3 through, keeping that face nice and square to the target. And as you can see, we rock the shoulders. Please note, one more time if you would, when you stroke the ball, the lower body is not moving, and you'll notice that Brett here is listening for the ball to go in the hole. Great stroke. We can also use devices like this to focus on working on the 1/3 back, 2/3 through. And a device like this allows you to rub the putter along the device so that we can have a nice consistent stroke. So go ahead and set up here, Brett. Again, we just line it up so that it's going at your target, and it's a great confidence booster, this particular style of putting. So we'll just make sure that that golf ball is right in line with the line on your putter, and then 1/3 back, accelerate 2/3 through. As you can see, he's still listening for that golf ball to go in the hole. Any movement of our head or body will change the angle of the putter. Great stroke. One last thing that we want to talk about with regards to putting is reading the putt and understanding that when you putt uphill, the ball is not going to break as aggressively as it will when you putt downhill. It's going to happen in a sense that when you're below the hole or the golf ball is lower than the location of the hole, you can be more aggressive with the putt. And as you can see, with these golf balls starting off, this is representing the speed of the golf ball traveling. And until the golf ball starts to lose its speed, at that point, the golf ball will start to break more aggressively. But it's not until the golf ball loses its speed. That's why you hear the guys being more aggressive on tour on an uphill putt. And that is much different than when we're hitting on a downhill putt. On the downhill putts, what we need to be aware of is that the ball will gradually make the curvature of the slope. As the ball is not traveling nearly as quick, it's maintaining a more consistent speed. So as the golf ball is traveling, it's essentially going slower, so it will ride the break a little bit more throughout the entire hole or length of the putt. You need to understand that the key thing is to pick the high spot. Where is that golf ball going to reach the maximum point in order to still make that turn and into the hole? And that's the spot. So if it's this golf ball here or here, then that's the spot that you want to roll your golf ball over to gauge how high that putt should run in order to continue making the putt. One of the key things, again, make sure you pick the line, run the golf ball over that spot, maintain the speed, and understand that when you're putting downhill, it will break gradually. When you're putting uphill, as the ball will start to slow down, that's when it's going to hit its break.